Hello, everyone. My name is Eastern America, and I'm here. I want to talk to you about cold hydrotherapy. I want to tell you my story ahead of time so you know a little bit about it. It was a couple months ago. I was very fortunate. I was at home, and I have a hot water heater. That's one of the big units. I think it's 50 gallon. I'm pretty sure I'm right, 50 gallon. And it came with the house. I bought this house in 2013. I have a mortgage, of course, 15-year mortgage, so I've got a long ways to go before I have it paid off. And oddly enough, I've been going on trips. I've been going to the Philippines, and every year I try to go to other places. And I do 28 days at a time when I'm in the Philippines. And I had this thing. I was in the restroom, and it exploded at the bottom of the hot water heater, and water started gushing out everywhere. Well, I immediately sprung into action to a small degree. It's the first time, and I had no prior planning on how to handle this. And instead of going straight for the hot water heater, I wasted a lot of time. I just panicked and went outside, tried to find a water main and cut it off at the valves. And so anyway, I did that, and then I ran back in, and I finally figured out that. And by the way, when I turned my valves off outside, I did not turn the main off anyway. I came in, checked the kitchen sink, and it was still running. Water was running, and I don't think it was purging. I think actually there's water pressure, so I've still got to figure that one out real soon. And it's okay. We're in a warm, hot weather summer right now. Today is May 22nd, 2019. It's a Wednesday. This is my weekly video, so I do ask that you please subscribe, like, also hit that notification button, and please share. I'm trying to get my subscriber base up, and you can always count on me, because even when I'm overseas or traveling or anywhere in America, North America, South America, Central America, I'll certainly be broadcasting every week while I'm out and about. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So I finally figured out, go back to the hot water heater and turn it off at the red valves like you're supposed to. Should have done that first had I been using my head. So there were two knobs that were red, and this thing was a piece of work to look at. I turned them, they wouldn't turn. So I assumed that they had nothing to do with anything, and I left them the way they were. I turned that top red knob all the way till it was to the right, tight, so it shut off. And I went outside and got the garden hose. I did do a little research on the internet, of course, and this thing was positioned in a small closet, and it was about as big as a closet. And whoever installed it didn't give any room for that little outlet valve down at the bottom of the hot water heater to even screw on the garden hose. But I finagled it, and I had to bend it. It was crimped. That's the only way I could do it. I couldn't move this thing. It was anchored to the floor. It's actually bolted to a plate on the floor. And by the way, there was no catch. Usually they have a pan. There was no pan underneath. This water was going all over this wooden floor. And so I ran the hose in there, and then I had a commitment out of town, about 40 miles away. And I went patiently and told this funny story about this hot water heater and how my problem was solved. And when I get back, all this. And by the way, I still had this thing plugged in. Oh, let's unplug hot water heaters anyway if you're not using them. Okay, but anyway, I come back and there's still plenty of water. And let me tell you, I had taken all my dirty clothes to supposedly absorb this water and keep it at bay. But I suspect that it was going through the hardwood floor somehow to the bottom of the house. It's a hot summer. This happened in spring, early spring, just before spring maybe, and it's just a debacle, And then secondly, I don't think there's any issues under my house, but if there are, I know pests are, I spray underneath my house, by the way, in the crawl space. But I'm just hoping nature, takes care of it. The heat of the summer and all that. I haven't seen any damage on my floors. They were clearly painted and varnished real well. They're nice hardwood floors, but they're old, but they're holding up really good. I don't see any warping or anything. But just to know, I want you to know, you got several options when this happens, and I'm still talking about cold hydrotherapy because I'm about to move into that subject. So don't sweat it. I'm staying on topic. But these hot water heaters, you do want to research these things. 6 to 10 years lifespan max. This is a flawed device in the continental United States, at least, among the 50 states of the United States. Keep that in mind, that these hot water heaters, it's a flawed system. Why would you go buy one after the first one, put a new one in, and know that 6 years later, you could be on a trip, a 28-day trip. A lot of these things are positioned upstairs. There's an old story running around about a guy that went to Jamaica for 2 weeks, and his was upstairs, and he had like a couple $100,000 worth of damage. I mean, I don't quite know, 200, 100,000. So you don't need gushing water. So one of the things I would suggest, since I do have a packing list and I do keep it on file, is I would suggest you add to your packing list cutting your water off at the main. Really anytime, probably all year round, especially if you're not home during the summertime. And but wintertime, in case pipes burst, and purge the water. So you would turn it off at your main. You would purge all the water out of the taps so that there's no running water or no water in the pipes. And hopefully that will solve a problem that could be very costly down the road. So I would put that on my packing list. So here are my options that I looked at. I knew that I'm not one of those people that's going to do it a second time and repeat something. I've grown out of that. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And then secondly, if at first it's not proper, then don't do it a second time. So anyway, that's something that to consider. Moving right along, I want to talk about replacing the hot water heater itself. There are the newer type devices, and I've seen them in the Philippines, for example, and they are, the water runs through. It's like a little box, and water runs through. They usually are plugged into electrical outlets, so you definitely want to do that. So anyway, I'm going to pause this. So we're talking about the cold hydrotherapy, and those options, like we said before, where you could get this little box, and I forgot the name of it, but let me tell you what I decided to do, because I'm on a budget. I'm about to go on a trip, and I'll be gone for 28 days, and you'll be with me because I'll be broadcasting every week. But I want you to know, I thought about this. What is the hurry? One of the things that turned me on my last trip to the Philippines is this thing called an electric kettle. It's a tall kettle. It's like this, and it's narrow, and these things boil water extremely fast. At the very bottom of these electric kettles, they have sensors, strips or something. And once that thing, you push a button, once that stuff gets to a rolling boil, it actually snaps off. It turns off by itself automatically. And it's fast. Rolling boil in 1 to 2 minutes. I can't remember how quick, but it's very fast. And I used it for instant coffee over in the Philippines. You have the little packs from the grocery store, and every morning I'd sit there and just pour some in. So this is what I do when it comes to washing dishes. I have a little pail in my left sink, which is where the clean washing goes on, and my right sink is where the soap is. Well, I fill up this little bucket with that hot water, boiling hot water, and I drop that sponge in there, and I go ahead and pour the dishwashing detergent on both sides. And it is hot to the touch, but it's not extremely hot, and you can add some cool water. And that's how I wash my dishes. I wash them with the hot water, with the sponge practically, and rinse with cold water, and then I let them dry, air dry. So what have I been doing? I have no hot water in my house at all. I've been doing this for months. I've been doing what they call cold hydrotherapy when it comes to showering. I brush my teeth. I shave with cold water. I always have, actually, before that. I do that in the mornings, and then I shower. And the first time that you shower, and let me tell you, there's some benefits to cold hydrotherapy. They call it part of detoxification. It keeps the body in balance, functioning optimally. It's quick, and let me tell you about quick. You're gonna run your bath water before you run your shower when you get into that shower. I have a combined shower and bath, and I lather up first, and I have a wash rag, and I scrub myself with the soap and the water from the bath water. I'm not talking shower yet, because that's where the cold will come. That's where you feel the cold water. But really, it's very quick. You lather up and you scrub yourself down with the wash rag, and then you start breathing. Get some respiration going. Inhale and exhale quite a bit, and then start at the top. Shower yourself. Now I use the corded shower, so I have the hose, and you shower yourself under your arms and all that, all the way down and everywhere else. And you that only lasts about, believe it or not, less than 60 seconds, maybe right at 60 seconds, but maybe a little more, maybe a minute and a half. I don't really know, but you'll get used to this, but only in the sense that you do this as a daily routine. No, you're not ever going to get used to cold water, but it's not going to be as bad because you're used to it. Some of the benefits, they say it improves your skin. I really do. I've got bad eczema in my face normally, and I still do. And it'll flare up later in the day. If I'm not drinking enough water and staying hydrated, it really flares up. But that's a benefit. And I took a shower this morning. I'm staying home today. I'm not going anywhere. And I just want to let you know it does wonders for your skin. It truly does. And if you're concerned about being fertile as a man, they say it helps your swimmers. That's what they say. It really is good for your swimmers, and I believe that as well. I think it's helping me. It improves your mood. It improves energy. So it's a lot of benefits. It'll wake you up. If you quit drinking coffee, I'm doing my coffee in the mornings, which I really shouldn't be doing, I guess, and I have gone to 2 cups, but I quit in the morning and start hydrating myself with a gallon of water. And I know lately I've been messing up, but I'm drinking fluids all day. So anyway, I just want to tell you about this cold hydrotherapy. Now look, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm asking you to talk to your doctor before you do it. Don't get on this program unless you talk to your doctor before you do it. There's plenty of research on the internet that you can do about cold hydrotherapy, and you may be impressed. So what is the bottom line here? Well, I would definitely get the little space heaters for the hot water to run through. They're portable, like I said, and actually they're getting lower priced, and there's a lot of good reviews on these products. And I might get one for the kitchen, and actually, to be fair, I may do it to the shower at some point, but I don't really need it in the bathroom sink. In the Philippines, they call it CR, comfort room. I just wanted to tell you that because there may be some fellow Filipino friends watching. But these are some great things. And, I'll tell you another thing. On these trips, and I just researched this and I want to share this. If you're going to developing countries like I prefer to go to, so my dollar goes a little further, I didn't know this, but you can negotiate and you get cheaper rooms by getting cold water rooms where they don't have hot water. So keep an eye on that. If you get into cold hydrotherapy and you're traveling, ask about rooms with no hot water. Get those rooms. I'm going to the Philippines. It's hot over there all the time. That water's not really cold. It's pretty cool, probably. But anyway, I just want to share all this with you. So try it out. If you think it'll help you, But like I said, please consult a physician before you do it. I really don't have. I've had some heart um, up and down type things happen, but I think I'm pretty okay now. I take a blood thinner, and so I don't really worry about my heart. And maybe it helps your respiration. Maybe it does help your heart rate. I don't know. I do know that hot showers tend to open up your arteries, and yes, cold or even drinking coffee closes up your arteries, makes it more pressure on your heart, raises your blood pressure. But I haven't had any adverse effects, even though I have had some minor scares in the past. So I just want to share this with you. Talk to your doctor first, of course, and please subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification button. Thank you for tuning in.